Yes, guys. Good evening to all. This evening, I'm here. I'm here again at Gun Hill in St. George. This evening, I'm here again at Gun Hill in St. George, which is just beneath the lion statue once again. Yeah. Yes, guys, this is the lion statue at Gun Hill, St. George, which was carved by Captain Henry Wilkinson, who was an officer at Gun Hill Signal Station. Yeah. And it was carved in 1868. Unfortunately, again, my phone camera is not zooming in at the present moment. So I'm afraid I will not be able to give you guys a full view of the lion at Gun Hill from this point. But we are looking up towards the lion, which was carved in 1868 by Captain Henry Wilkinson, who was an officer at the Gun Hill Signal Station. And the lion statue represents the ending of British colonialism. So the lion is resting his paw on a big red round ball. So looking downhill will lead you to St. George Parish Church, which is the second oldest place of worship in Barbados. St. George Parish Church was built in 1641 and we built in 1784. So St. George Parish Church is just below Gun Hill. St. George Parish Church, as well as Workman's Hill and the Glebe Polyclinic, which is now renamed the Freddie Miller Polyclinic. This is the lion up here on top of the hill. And uphill now will lead you back to Newbury. Newbury, St. George. And it will take you back to straight ahead from Newbury will take you back to Cottage via Superlative, Cottage, Bushcock, Market Hill, St. George, and back to the parish of St. John with Golden Ridge, Four Roads, Pool, Lemon Arbor, and St. John Parish Church, and Bath Beach, all in St. John. On the right turn at Newbury will take you back to St. Jude's, Superlative, and Greens, and Fairview Heights, all in St. George. So this is the land that sits on the hillside, on the hilltop. I wasn't born yet, but I've seen photos of when this lion was painted in the Rastafarian colors between 1990 and 1991, when the Rastafarian community got together and painted the lion in the Rastafarian colors, ice, gold, and green, which is best referred to as red, gold, and green. And then the next day they had to take efforts and so on to paint it back in the white color as it is today. And it always was. So this is the route to St. John. So on your way to St. John and St. Joseph, you'll be more than likely to pass here. Yeah. So on your way to St. John or St. Joseph, which is the two eastern parishes on the island, you'll be more than likely to pass here. Yes guys, I am in the center of the island. St. George and St. Thomas are the two parishes here in Barbados in the center of the island, best referred to as the heart of Barbados or the central uplands of Barbados. And there is no sea nor coastline in these parishes. These are the two landlocked parishes here in Barbados, St. Thomas and St. George. And behind the lion is the signal station, the Gun Hill signal station, which is 700 feet above sea level. And it gives even more spectacular views of 6 out of the 11 parishes in Barbados. So you cannot miss this land. This land is a must visit when visiting the island of Barbados. When visiting the island of Barbados, even tourists and locals and so on visit this land daily. Yes guys, something about St. George. St. George is known as the breadbasket of Barbados. And again, St. George was carved out of the parish of St. Michael between 1640 and 1641. So St. Michael is really and truly the mother parish, but St. George was carved out of it. And St. George is also known as the breadbasket of Barbados. And it is where it was the main source of food grown provisions in Barbados from the 1600s, 40s up until this present day. And St. George is the agricultural parish here in Barbados. And again, this is a part of St. George North. So St. George is divided into two constituencies. St. George is the second largest parish in Barbados. St. George is the second largest parish in Barbados after St. Philip. Looking at the Gun Hill. So yes guys, this is Gun Hill, St. George. This is just above St. George Scottish Church. So this hill is pretty long. It is rather long. Starting from Charles Road Bridge, which is at the bottom. Charles Road Bridge, named after a guy named Mr. Charles Road. The bridge in St. George at the bottom, below the glebe, is named after him. Charles Road Bridge is in St. George, and it is also referred to as the capital of St. George. And it is the parish where you will get most of your ground provisions. St. George is the parish where you get most of your ground provisions. And Charles Road Bridge is known as the capital of St. George because it is where you'll find most of the amenities in the parish, such as you have the Chapet restaurant, you have the Bridge supermarket, you have the Sol gas station, you have the further up the hill, you have the police station, the library, you have the post office, and then you have St. George Parish Church. And then the hill gets level when you get by St. George Parish Church, and then it starts to rise again when you get going up to past the glebe by the polyclinic, all the way up Tate Hill, all the way up to Gun Hill, and then it will gets back another level pace when it gets to Newbury or somewhere going along that stretch. And then straight ahead from Newbury will lead you back to St. John, with Golden Ridge, Fort Road, St. John Church, Lemon Arbor. On the right turn will take you back to St. Jude's, Superlative and Prerogative, and Greens in St. George. So yes guys. Thank you guys for watching now, and have a blessed evening.